Bene, congratulations to your offers from BCG and McKinsey. I understood that you're gonna join McKinsey in the upcoming weeks or month. And yeah, again, that was a very great performance. So really, really cool, and all the best for your next weeks. But before we speak about what's going to happen in your future, let's rather focus on what has happened in your past, right? So help us a little bit, or share your experiences with the interviewing process at BCG and McKinsey, maybe also reflecting on the different interviewers you saw or consultants you met, on the interviews you had, and was the process stressful? And yeah, just share some details here.
Yeah, love to do that. So yeah, let me just start with my overall feelings when I went into the interviews. So I was actually quite calm. Surely you're always a little bit nervous about what's going to come up, but I felt really confident throughout the whole process, because I knew I was very well prepared in comparison also probably to other candidates. So I was quite confident, and then also tried to take a strategic approach. So I first of all did the interviews that were second priority for me, and then I did the interviews that were my first priority afterwards. So I could also kind of reflect and learn from my previous experiences, and that really helped me to strengthen my confidence for the interview processes where I really wanted to get in. Yes. So I think that worked really well for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's speak a little bit more in detail about your preparation journey that led to this outcome. So, I mean, what would you say? What has been the major driver of success, also out of the preparation program we have done? And in the end, what do you think was convincing the interviewers at BCG and McKinsey more than from other candidates?
Yeah, good question though. So I think it's essentially two key elements here. So I think first, it's really the ability that you gain throughout the program to really solve and approach any case in a very solid way, no matter what content the case is about. And secondly, I think it's also about knowing what to expect when you go into the interview, and what you could and should do, and how you should react to specific also questions in the personal fit part. So this really helped me a lot, these two aspects. And I think the most important aspect is obviously being able to really have a strong performance really on any case, especially if you don't have a business background like me. I felt really confident because I knew I don't really have to know anything about very specific things like M&A and so on. I just need to really solve this problem in a logical way, and you basically gave me the tools to do so.
Yeah, I love that, because this is really a huge misconception that you would need to have that previous knowledge, and it's just not the case. And there is also a second thing you mentioned, which is super important, because in the end, what we are doing here is we're giving you a tool and a skill, right? And that is to essentially solve any strategic question that is posed to you. And for that, you don't need previous knowledge from a sector, from an industry, or from your economic like lectures in university. This is all not tested, right? So it's really about learning that skill. And what most people also confusing when they prepare for their interviews is they want to find a shortcut. Yeah, they want to find these like 3 frameworks, these like 5 things, these like 10 do's or don'ts, but this is not working out, because in the end, you're tested on your abilities to solve eventually any potential question, strategic question that could be given to you. And for that, you need to show a different skill set. And this is what we're here for. We were not even here for particularly to get you an offer. We are here for teaching you that skill set, and that will lead them to offers, right? This is the biggest difference. And I can fully relate. So would you also share a little bit more about how and when you manage to get fully prepared in order to perform at your interviews, at your moments of truth? For example, what was your time management like? Did you practice in the mornings or evenings or at the weekends? How were you able to fit it into your normal week?
Mm-hmm. So I was doing the preparation mostly throughout, in parallel to my master's degree. So throughout the week, I did not have too much time, but mostly I tried to fit in the kind of practice interviews with practice partners in the evenings and on the weekends, basically. And so I try to have at least 2 to 3 practice interviews a week. And I think that's also a sustainable amount of interviews, because I think you shouldn't overdo it as well. I think it's more important to have a certain quality and to reflect also on the learnings of the specific partner interviews you had. Or so this will help you a lot more than having like 10 interviews practice cases a day, because then you won't really know where the problem lies and so on. So it's better to reflect and take your time.
I love that point, because I fully second that. It's so much more important to systematically improve, because you need to take the randomness out of this whole process. And this you can only do by sitting down and look at your past performances and not practicing and practicing and practicing. We get so many outreaches of people that are telling us, look, my interviews are next week, but I have already done 100 cases. So just let's jump on the phone and then you tell me what I need to do and then we are done. I mean, that's exactly not how it is working, right? Because if you only have, not only, but if you have done 100 cases, most likely you will need to unlearn substantially a lot of the things that you got used to do on the way when you did this 100 cases, because you most likely have done it with random people, you most likely have done it with people where the feedback is not really sure to be helpful or harmful to your performance. And the number of cases you did is not a very good indicator if you make it in the end or not in your moment of truth. So this one is super important. Maybe last question, Bene, what would you recommend to others that are just about to start their preparation journey?
Yeah, I really think everyone should adapt a very strategic approach to trying to get into MBB consultancies. So really determine in which firm you want to get in and what's important for yourself, and then try to have a time span of 6 to 8 weeks to really get in depth for both the case and the fit part. And then also try to be strategic in scheduling your interviews. For example, as I did, first the second priorities and then the first priorities, because this will just boost your confidence over time. And then I would say go beyond the traditional resources, because at some point, and I also did that, you're going to be stuck and you won't be able to improve. And you will see that it's difficult to reach really the level to really solve any case. And that's, I think, where your program comes into play, and where you could really, where you basically really had a big impact on my performance, really. So I totally recommend the program.
Yeah. So, I mean, thanks a lot for that. But just to add one more comment to this that you shouldn't forget if you just watch it right now, because if you are in the moment when you're preparing with like the standard resources and you think this is not logical at all, then it's time to really rethink your approach, right? Then consider reaching out and consider using a different approach that is purely based on logic, because this is making all the difference in the end. But different topic for now. Bene, congratulations again. I'm pretty sure another great consulting career is waiting for you, and you will take some vacation now, as far as I understood, and then you're on your first weeks into McKinsey. So it was a pleasure, and it was fully deserved. So really, really well done, and all the best to you.
Thank you very much.